The clock is ticking here in Warsaw.
After multiple Russian drones entered Polish airspace during the attack on Ukraine on September 10, fears have grown that Russia could escalate its aggression against Europe sooner than previously expected.
There is only one threat of Russian Federation.
Can Poland be the next front line in Europe?
We are investing a lot of money in the defense expenditures. However, we staying firmly on the position that we have to defend our country.
Billions into tanks, billions into new technologies like drones and cyber warfare, and billions into fortifications on its borders with the Russian exclave of Kaliningrad and also on the Belarus border. Is it ready? Is Poland ready to fight?
Western officials have repeatedly warned about an open confrontation with Moscow within the next 5 years, and Poland is bracing to be at the forefront. The warnings follow a series of hybrid attacks that Russia has carried out in recent years. One of them has been unfolding here on the Polish-Belarusian border. Putin's close ally, Belarusian dictator Alexander Lukashenko, has been weaponizing migrants from more than 50 countries, sending waves of them to the Polish border to destabilize the country. But today, it's not just migration that poses a challenge at this frontier. The widely talked about Suwalki Gap, a 65-kilometer stretch between Poland and Lithuania, what analysts call NATO's soft underbelly. If Russia were to move here, it could cut off the Baltics from Poland in just days, creating a land bridge with its Kaliningrad exclave. To strengthen its border, Poland has launched Operation East Shield, building fortifications designed to prevent that scenario. But Poland's current approach reveals certain contradictions. Warsaw has ruled out sending troops to Ukraine, where it can contribute to Russia's weakening today. It has also repeatedly let Russian drones enter its airspace without countering them until the September 10 attack. Under newly inaugurated President Karol Nawrocki, Poland projects strength, but these choices raise questions about how Warsaw sees its role in the war unfolding just across its border.
The Polish Armed Forces Day, a first and some even say a defining moment for Poland's new president, Karol Nawrocki. Today is supposed to send a message both to NATO partners and to the enemy in the east.
Zwycięstwo nad bolszewikami w roku 1920 zostawiło jeszcze jedną bardzo ważną lekcję. Zostawiło nam lekcję, że także dzisiejsza neoimperialna Rosja i Rosja zawsze, bo ta dzisiejsza nie różni się bardzo od tej sowieckiej, ale Rosja nie jest niepokonywalna, a dziś od ponad 3 lat grzęźnie po swoim ataku na Ukrainę, grzęźnie dzięki wsparciu sojuszniczemu i solidarności. Bardzo się cieszę, że mój postulat co najmniej 300-tysięcznej polskiej armii nie spotkał się z negacją, a spotkał się z licytacją.
As we saw at the parade, the thoughts of the Polish president and commander-in-chief Karol Nawrocki are clear. Poland needs to get more personnel.
But is more personnel and new armor enough? And is Poland and in effect NATO ready to face the challenges of the new warfare we see in Ukraine? We asked 2 Polish generals. Jarosław Krasiewski, a retired Polish general credited with driving the army's modernization, and Brigadier General Bogdan Pydanty of the General Staff of the Polish Armed Forces.
General, how seriously does Poland now take the possibility of direct Russian aggression, and has the mood within the armed forces and among civilians also shifted in the past years?
We are taking it very seriously. To be honest with you, it's a main concern of the current government and the newly elected president of Poland. Both, besides that they are from the opposite parties.
The threat perception on the Polish side was and is still very, very high, especially during the wartime in Ukraine.
How is Poland adapting to the new realities of war? Because you mentioned drones, cyber operations are very, prominent at the moment already on all European partners that Poland has and on Poland itself. And also Russians targeting civilian infrastructure. We can see in Kyiv, in other cities of Ukraine, that these Shahed drones are being used. Do you think, is Poland ready, if anything was to happen right now, to fight these waves of hundreds of drones with the capabilities we have at hand?
It's very difficult to say that the country is ready, because it's an unreachable state.
Totally.
Always there is a lack of something. Right now, the most important element to prepare our state and society is just the resilience. First thing. The second thing is human power to increase the military capabilities of the professional armed forces. So that means that we have to spend a lot of efforts and a lot of money to train the youngest generations of Poles. Conscription is suspended. Right now there is no will from the political arena to make it active again.
So we are carefully observing the situation in Ukraine, and we have been drawing and exploring a lot of lessons, also thanks to the Ukrainian colleagues, and which are sharing with us this knowledge. And so we are observing, we are learning a lot, we are trying to adapt some new solutions like the cyber, like the air defense, missile defense systems. We have been also trying to adapt the new solutions concerning the tactics, especially the drone warfighting. We are also supported by our friends and allies from the NATO countries, which are taking some duties on the Polish area, and they are helping us to protect our airspace or border.
None of what we do here at the Kyiv Independent would be possible without our amazing community of members. If you want to join us to support independent journalism and let us keep coming to the front line to bring you the battlefield like we're doing here, join us by clicking the link in the description below.
How do you see the East Shield? Is it a right step for Poland? Can there be more done? Do you think it should be even more strengthened at the borders of the enemies?
It's if we look at the history, the Maginot Lines, Stalin Line, and other lines build up to defend a particular piece of territory. It didn't work. But first of all, it's just in terms of resilience, and in terms of deterrence, and in terms of showing your national capabilities that we are ready in a very short period of time, investing a lot of money to prepare such a line. That's the first point. Second point, if the enemy decides to go, that doesn't help them.
We're traveling to the Polish border with Belarus, which is still as of now in a constant state of tension because of hundreds of illegal attempts to cross the border by migrants. On the other side, the Russian Zapad 2025 training will also take place soon. One thing that stands out here at the patrol that we're joining at the Polish-Belarus border is the amount of incidents that are happening at the moment. Just yesterday, what one of the guards told us is that they had over 100 incidents with migrants trying to get across the frontier to Poland. The situation, the current state
is here from 2021? How has the stage changed from 2021 till now in 2025 where we are at the moment?
Sytuacja się zmieniła rzeczywiście, ale też dlatego, że ten kryzys cały czas się zmienia. W tym roku już odnotowaliśmy ponad 20 000 prób nielegalnego przekraczania naszej granicy. Codziennie notujemy takich zjawisk około 150. Najważniejsze, żeby te osoby zatrzymać, często po stronie białoruskiej, a tym, którym się uda przedostać na polską stronę, uniemożliwić jakieś dalsze przejście i zatrzymanie ich w najbliższej odległości. Doskonale wiemy, że ta migracja jest sztucznie sterowana. Ci wszyscy migranci są kierowani i wspierani przez białoruskie służby. To służby białoruskie pokazują miejsce i czas, gdzie ta granica ma być przekroczona. Oni też nas obserwują i my ich obserwujemy.
What's interesting is that, civilian villages are very close to this border, and as we can see on this side of the frame, there's a river, and this river is also being used by Lukashenko's migrants, but not as often as the actual fence that we see also behind us at that side. And an interesting fact that we got told is that civilians continue their lives here unobstructed even during these big raids where tens of migrants are trying to cross the border at one time, throwing stones, having improvised weapons which were given to them by the Belarusian border guards. You're innovating, you started using drones to surveil the border. How have drones helped with your work over here?
Mamy bardzo dużo dronów, na każdym odcinku mamy swoje drony, pomagają nam mocno. Na bieżąco imi kontrolujemy, sprawdzamy tą sytuację przy granicy, ale też jeżeli dojdzie do przekroczenia granicy nielegalnego, to wtedy nam te drony pomagają w ujęciu tych sprawców. Co warte podkreślenia, najważniejszy jest człowiek, bo żaden sprzęt, żadna technika nie zastąpi człowieka.
Czują się Państwo bezpiecznie?
Bezpiecznie czujemy się, bardzo bezpiecznie. U nas tego nie ma. Jest wojsko, Straż Graniczna i my się nie boimy nikogo.
A boją się Państwo jakiegoś zagrożenia właśnie ze strony białoruskiej, rosyjskiej?
No teraz, po tej wojnie takiej, co jest na tym, no to trochę tak, obawiamy się, bo nie wiemy, kiedy to do nas przeleci to.
Wojny. A kto chce wojny? Nikt nie chce wojny.
Here on Poland's eastern frontier, the stakes reach far beyond this fence line. For now, Ukraine's defense holds the line. If that changes, Poland's preparations and Europe's will be tested in a way they've only trained for. But an even bigger question here remains. Where will Poland and NATO draw the line between a hybrid attack and actual aggression? And will the alliance be ready to act quickly and decisively before it's too late?